YouTube, what's going on with y'all, man? It's your boy Trey Mace. We back at it again with another one on Famous Mace's Sports. Please make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff for the algorithm, man. We gonna jump right into this. We got Sam Darnold of the Minnesota Vikings. He had a terrible game. I can't sugarcoat it, man. I can't try and stick up for the man. I wish I could, because he went to college at USC, but that was just a bad performance by him, a bad coaching performance by Kevin O'Connell, and a terrible performance by that offensive line. I mean, absolutely garbage, man. And I feel bad for Minnesota Viking fans because they felt like Sam, with the regular season he had a big chance of being their future. And a lot of people felt that way as well. You lead a team to 14 wins and take them to the playoffs, you got a pretty good chance of being the quarterback going forward. But that's just not going to be the case with Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings only lost to two teams all year. They lost to the Rams twice and they lost to Detroit twice. But the way they lost is what really hurts. They lost to Detroit a couple weeks ago, and Sam's stat line looked like 18 to 41, 166 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and they lost that game 31-9. Then they come out this week playing the Rams. His stat line was a little better, but he went 25 of 40 for 245 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Those numbers are just not going to get it done, man. Unfortunately, it seems like Sam has played his last down in Minnesota. Sucks to say, man, because he was a top five quarterback in the regular season this year. He actually really balled out. He was in MVP conversations with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson halfway through the year. The guy looked incredible. He had amazing confidence, and he was getting Justin Jefferson the ball, getting Jordan Addison the ball. His receivers were flourishing. They looked like a great team. They looked like they were going to make a big run in the playoffs, but their run has come short in the first round as they lose to the Rams 27-9. And he was sacked 9 times in this game. Not all the sacks were on him, but I would say about 4 or 5 of them were, because he's just holding on to the football way too long. As a quarterback in the NFL, you cannot hold on to the football for more than 4 to 5 seconds. Not in the NFL. Maybe in college you could get away with that, but in the NFL, them boys is coming after you, point blank, period. If your first or second or third read isn't there, you have to throw the football away. And Sam, he just was not doing that. It's like he was holding on to the ball, trying to make a big play, trying to make things happen, but you can't do that, man. You putting yourself in harm's way and you putting your team in harm's way. That fumble that was caused on him and Jared Verse picked it up and ran it down the sideline, you just gave the team 7 points. You can't do that. Not in the playoffs. This stage is too big and this game means too much. It's no next week. It's do or die. And it seemed like his confidence wasn't there. It seemed like the stage was a little bit too big for him and the lights were a little too bright. In big games, he's not shown up. He didn't show up against Detroit, and he damn sure didn't show up against Los Angeles. So seems like he's played his last down in Minnesota. It sucks to say because he did have a terrific regular season. I'm not taking anything away from him. I wish him nothing but the best because he played at USC. So I'm a fan of Sam Darnold. I always felt like he was a great quarterback. I felt like he should have been the number one overall pick over Baker Mayfield. But when you have performances like this, man, it gives the teams a reason to move off of you. And I feel like the Minnesota Vikings have already made that decision internally, even though they haven't came out and said anything. I feel like Kevin O'Connell and the Minnesota Vikings are going to move on from Sam Darnold, and he's going to be with another team next year. Unfortunately, that's just the way of the game. That's how it goes. Even though it wasn't all his fault at all. Like, I'm not putting all the blame on him. The offensive line was absolutely garbage. Kevin O'Connell called a terrible game. and Sam Darnold held onto the ball for way too long. So those three elements are the reason the Vikings got blown out. Those three elements are the reason Sam Darnold cost himself a generational payday. Even though he's still going to get paid for sure, he would have got paid a whole lot more if he played well these last couple weeks. But it's been a tough couple weeks for him, man. He didn't play well at all. And unfortunately, that's the name of the game. It's a business at the end of the day. They have a first round pick sitting in JJ McCarthy. I think he's going to take over the reins next year. He sat for a year. He learned the offense behind Sam this year. He's coming off the injury, but I think he's their first round pick, so they're going to have to play him to see what he got, you know? But if Sam would have won this game and maybe won another game and got to the NFC Championship, they would have had no choice but to keep Sam Darnold and move forward with him. But it seems like that's not going to be the case anymore because he was terrible, man. He was missing throws. He didn't have any pocket presence. Seemed like he was just letting the defenders come hit him as he held on to the ball for 30 seconds every play. Now some plays the defense got right back there and sacked him. So I'm not putting all the blame on him, like I said. But it was some out of I would say, I mean, 4 out of those 9 sacks that he took, he could have threw the ball away, but he decided not to because he wanted to make a big play. And that's what really hurt him in the Minnesota Vikings. Sam, he really fumbled the bag. This offseason, he was going to get paid by the Minnesota Vikings handsomely, if you ask me, but seems like he's going to have to get that payday from another team that's looking for a quarterback because this quarterback draft class is pretty weak, if I'm being 100% honest. And so I think there's going to be teams out there that are looking for Sam Darnold to come be a bridge quarterback for them until next year or the year after that. And that sucks to say because a quarterback that won 14 games coming in to be a bridge quarterback, but that's just what I think. I think Sam Darnold is nothing but more than a bridge quarterback at this point for an NFL team. I don't think any NFL team is looking at Sam Darnold as the future of their franchise. So with that being said, they're going to bring him in to play for a year or two, and then they're gonna start whoever else they bring in or rookie they draft. So unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Kevin O'Connell, what are you doing, man? Why are you calling run plays and you're down 18 points? That shit doesn't make any sense to me, dog. You running the ball with Aaron Jones now that you're down 18 points in the third quarter. Have a sense of urgency, man. Keep fighting. You can't just give up on your team like that, dog. We've seen the Falcons and Patriots. You've seen the Patriots come back and beat them, and they were down 28-3. Anything can happen in the playoffs. If you fight and you play hard, anything can happen, man. And I felt like he gave up. He started calling play calls that made zero sense, and that cost them as well. And the offensive line, the interior offensive line has to get better. I mean, it was absolutely terrible. That's why I don't want to put all the blame on Sam, but a lot of it does have to go to him. And I feel like JJ will be starting at quarterback next year for the Minnesota Vikings, and they have a lot to figure out. And Sam Darnold, I wish you nothing but the best, kid. Go get your money wherever that is, but you cost yourself some millions of dollars. I got to keep it 100 with you, man. These past couple of weeks were not kind to you. They were terrible. And I don't know what the Minnesota Vikings do at this point, but I have a feeling I know what they're going to do, and that's start JJ McCarthy next year, man, because after these performances, it's going to be hard for me to see them retaining you and leaving their first round draft pick on the bench. So those are just my thoughts about it. Let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comments. Do you think Sam Darnold should stay with Minnesota or you think he's going somewhere else? I personally think he's gone, but we shall see, man. So until next time, man, it's your boy Trey Mace, Famous Mason Sports, and we out, man. Peace.